the general, it's getting bad.
Being told I wasn't allowed to eat was.
You went down the south end, the 7-Eleven south end there.
Yeah. After.
Yeah. They got a lot. You got addicted to that food there.
No, yesterday. Well, thank God I didn't take advantage of it. But yesterday was fill up any container for $2.50
Yep.
Who?
Yep.
at 7-Eleven.
Fuck 7-Eleven. I don't care.
Well, what the fuck is wrong with 7-Eleven? What do you guys get at 7-Eleven?
They're a corporation. I hate them.
Oh my God. Are you allowed to ever have fun?
I have lots of fun. I had excellent fun last night. Excellent fun.
Jesus Christ.
I really had fun last night.
That's great.
Did I see you last night?
Yeah, you did.
Did I see you last night?
Hey, once you become a corporation, that's it. You're evil.
You're evil.
Yeah.
Basically.
You're only allowed to make so much money.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're evil.
Yeah.
Look, dude, I don't give. We're in the process of killing the planet, and it's all down to your two's fucking corporation loving ways that's doing it. So
How's 7-Eleven killing it?
How's that?
How am I killing it?
How's that?
How am I
Have
killing?
you seen?
How
Have you
am I-
seen
how am I killing the environment with a Slurpee?
How are you killing it? Really? You're asking that question, being serious.
Yeah.
What about all the other millions and millions of Slurpees that have been bought? What about all the other millions and millions and millions of plastic bags that's been... Mariana Trench, the lowest point in this fucking planet that they know of, right? Goes down, having a look around, oh, let's have a fucking jockey at this, and then all of a sudden, plastic fucking bag. Jesus fuck. And you're saying, oh, how's my Slurpee doing it? What if it was you that threw that bag in the ocean? And it ended up in the Marianas Trench.
Well, I don't like littering or anything.
Yeah, I'm
I don't litter.
I recycle.
No, you do. You Callan, what the fuck?
I'm not sure what that was, but okay.
Cal said many, many times about you throwing no stuff out of the car.
I've changed that. I think you shut up.
Well, if you've changed, then that's a wonderful thing. But you're...
Good for you, Dom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't throw my
Pat yourself on the shoulder. You're a good boy now.
I didn't throw my
Well
Slurpee
done.
cup outside. But anyways,
But there you go.
yesterday was like bring any container you can for $2.50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and then like thank God, because like I remember last year someone brought in a planter.
What?
Like literally, and I can't do it any justice, but literally it was a planter of a medium-sized plant.
That's awesome.
Right? It will like this. Like literally, like I couldn't put my hand around it.
It's so lame.
And he filled it up with a Slurpee.
Oh my God. How you gonna
There you
drink
go.
that
Human
much?
greed once again. Yes.
Once it's melted, it just becomes liquid like sugar water. Like
I don't know, man.
it's no longer
fucking
drinkable,
pointless.
and you can't refreeze it because it'll just freeze into a brick, right? So I don't know what the point of getting that much is. I don't get
Because
it.
he can for $2.50, I guess.
Oh my God.
Selfishness. There we go.
The biggest
True conservatism. Selfishness.
The
there
biggest,
we are.
The biggest container I ever got for at a 7-Eleven was the double gulp. The double gulp was like a liter and a quarter or something like that.
Yeah,
It was so ridiculously huge, eh? And we got it years ago when we were in Toronto. And we went to a gym in Toronto. Guys, I'll give him a shout out. Shaw Franco's kickboxing gym. He just kickboxing jiu-jitsu. So we went there. We were there for like 2.5 hours, and then we went out. And we're like, all right, we gotta get something to drink. And they had Gatorade on tap at the 7-Eleven, and we're like, what's the biggest container here? It was like a double gulp. It was like 1.25 liters, and we got it all in Gatorade. Oh my God, that was a lot. That's a ton of fluid, man.
The most I ever drank, Slurpee-wise, was they had these big, huge, like, mugs.
Mm-hmm.
And they were literally, like, 1.5 liters or 2 liters worth.
Yeah.
And it was insulated and stuff, so, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember those? And the first two or whatever refills were free and stuff like that.
Tim Hortons used to have those.
Yeah. And 7-Eleven was the one that started it, I guess. But then what happened was Me and my brother were like going to Barry for I can't remember what reason it was. And the idea was that we were both going to drink one each to Barry and see who could break and have to go to the bathroom first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, when we got to Innisfil, my brother was like, I gotta go piss, man.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I was just like still chilling, like, yep, I'm still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim Hortons. They used to have those. I don't know what they call them now. There was a giant insulated mug.
Yeah, and it was like
I
two
can't remember what
extra larges.
No, it was an entire pot. You can put an entire pot into it.
They're that big?
Yeah, they're massive. Yeah.
Oh, I would love
I
that.
don't know what the hell they had a name for them, but
Big Tim.
The Big Tim.
I think that's what
Could
it was
have been.
called.
Could have been. But it was it's giant, right? And they didn't sell them for very long. But if you have one still,
They still have to.
they still have the option on their computer.
Yeah.
So you can go in there and ask for it, and they'll still have the charge for it. It takes an entire pot, pot of coffee. It's amazing.
Would you have one of those, Will?
No. No. Simple answer.
I know a guy that has one, and he goes in there sometimes, just to screw with them. He'd be like, "Oh, here you go. Can I fill this up?" And they're like, "Wait, what?" This has been so long, and he goes, "Just look for the option. It's there." And they're like, bring over a supervisor, and they're like, all right. He likes screwing with the Tim Hortons people.
Yeah, this is it right here. I don't know if you can see it or you're going to be able to see it. But yeah, it was this thing right there that could hold a whole pot of coffee.
I can't quite see it.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah, I can that. No.
It was like a whole pot of coffee.
No.
And it was like the price of like a large and a half, maybe. So if you go if you have that and you refill it,
But that's ridiculous. Why? Why would you do that?
because it would keep it was insulated enough to keep it heated for 10 hours. You'd actually have a coffee for 10 hours.
They did away with it since now they have those boxes, right?
Yeah.
They have the boxes with the spigot on it, so you
Yeah.
can just order a box and you're done.
Yeah,
Which
but,
is
But why would you want coffee standing for 10 hours?
dude, I knew a guy who would drink 2 or 3 of those a day in a shift.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
some people like coffee.
He used to work with my brother. He'd start the morning with one, go on lunch, and then like maybe his last break, go get another one.
Coffee is to Canadians as tea is to British people.
The British people. Yeah, I understand that, but it's why I wouldn't let a tea stand for 10 hours. No fucking way.
Wasn't
I don't think
wasn't
anybody really does let
Well,
it
wouldn't
stand
it be-
for 10 hours, but
Well, if it was steeped or anything, wouldn't it be like increase in flavor though?
If you leave it steeping for that time,
Yeah.
then eventually it gets to the stage where there's no more tea left.
Mhm.
It'll finish its good old self. But then, why would you wouldn't? No, it'd be.
I figured
fucking
as long as you
awful.
didn't put milk in it, I mean, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? You just
I suppose it would. I mean, you could, but I just wouldn't
Just
for that
reheat it.
long.
I don't know.
No, fuck no. Jesus, no.
I know I was talking when I was in college. I had a lot of Indian students. They came over from India. The Indians come in from India. Like I can't believe I have to actually say that. But anyway, they came over, and some of the first questions were, "What the hell is with Tim Hortons?"
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
yeah.
And they're like, "What the hell is this Tim Hortons guy? Why are these coffee shops everywhere? You know, why are there other coffee shops? Why is it always Tim Hortons?" And I said, "No, it's just it was a famous guy who did it, and Canadians love their coffee." And they drink tea, of course. Chai tea is heavily spiced. It's strong and heavily spiced tea in India. So when they went to Tim Hortons, they asked for chai.
No.
Because they had that option. It said garbage. So it says tastes nothing like back home, right? Obviously. And so what they would do is they would get coffee and ask for like 4 or 5 milks. So it diluted enough that it would kind of taste like chai tea from back in India. That's what they would do.
Ugh.
I don't know. I tried the espresso once, and I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
No, I tried when I came here. I tried the coffee. The tea that you can buy here,
Orange
and it
Pico.
was fucking disgusting. Absolutely, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? It was fucking awful. And like orange, and everywhere you go, even when it says Tetley's or whatever tea they sell here, everything is orange Pico, and it's like, this is garbage, absolute garbage. So I went to the British shop, bought some tea that had been imported from England, gave it to the people that were at work and who wanted to try it, and they were blown away with the flavor. Like, fucking hell, this is fucking
Was it
fantastic.
Earl Grey?
No, it was Ceylon tea and various different ones. And
I'm more of a chamomile tea type.
I like Ceylon tea.
I like chamomile.
I've actually had Ceylon tea. It's good.
Is it?
Ceylon is really nice. Which we're not supposed to really call it Ceylon anymore, but we do. I don't know why.
Why is it against the fucking
No, it's
PC rate or?
It changed names.
Yeah.
I think it was a country or a city or something.
Ceylon, it was at Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, yeah.
I thought maybe like you offended somebody by calling someone Ceylon or something.
It was part of the let's get away from being British thing, from being a colony. So they called them, they renamed their name. Same as Myanmar when you look at that as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of places in India were renamed.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it used to be
didn't know.
called British Raj, right?
And then Mumbai used to be Bombay.
Yep.
They changed names and everything else. I understand why they did it. That's fine.
Bombay, India is not Mumbai.
It's Mumbai.
Yep.
I thought that was two different places. I didn't know.
No.
I just, you know
It
what?
doesn't surprise me to think that, but there again.
I legitimately thought it was. Why? What the fuck does that mean?
Wow. Jesus.
I legitimately just thought it was like you had Bombay and then another city that like happened to like grow and now people like going there. So it's like Mumbai. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well, fuck. I'm not Indian. I don't fucking know, man. You want to say it changes in Italy? Okay, maybe I'll know them, but that's about it.
Well, Italy was never a British colony.
Thank fucking God.
You'd be cultured if that was the case.
Yeah.
But you're not.
Bangers and mash. Yeah, that's what I'll be fucking eating for the rest of my life. Jesus Christ.
Do you eat bangers and mash?
Do I look like I eat bangers and mash?
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know. What does a person look like that eats bangers, man?
Will.
Yeah? I don't know. Anybody could eat it. What does it look like I eat?
Oh, you look like you eat?
Yeah.
I don't know. You look like a cabbage type of guy.
Cabbage.
Yeah.
Cabbage.
Yeah, he looks like he eats cabbage.
Fucking cabbage?
Just straight up cabbage.
No, that's just straight up cabbage. Like those cabbage rolls and.
Oh, it's because I'm half Ukrainian. That's all.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
Lots of iron. Sure.
Well, hey, listen, man. I mean, nobody can be as perfected as Italians when it comes to food.
The French can.
What?
Yeah, you got you there.
Fuck the French.
Like in a large way.
Yeah, no. Fuck the French in a large way. Yes,
okay.
exactly. Yeah. Fuck them. Fuck the ones that come back too. I don't give a shit.
No, we're not talking about the French Canadians.
I'm
We're
about all
talking about
French.
the French.
The turncoats.
Just because you hate somebody doesn't make them incompetent at everything they do, Dom.
No.
I don't hate them. I'm just joking around.
Yeah. You can take the person that's the best at something, and Dom will be like, yeah, well, fuck him. You're like, all right, great. That's a great argument. That guy's an idiot.
Why? Yeah.
That's all he does for his argument. Yeah, well, fuck him. He's a
Fucking
dick,
idiot.
man.
Yeah, fuck them.
Is he Italian? No? Oh, fuck him then.
No.
Yeah.
Dom, he's the best at his field. Oh, yeah, whatever. All right. That's a great argument there.
And then it's a matter of fuck him. Well,
Yeah.
but Dom is Italian. Oh, he's a good guy.
Oh, well,
Yeah, he's a fucking top
He's the
man.
king of the universe.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
He
no-
must have a
There's no bias there
2-foot
at
penis there.
It wasn't that bad.
It's pretty much that bad.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. All you need to do is really ask the listeners, and they will tell you dead straight. Yes, you're a biased fuck towards Italians. That's fine.
The guy's Italian. He must be.
Yeah.
He must be fucking 8 times a day.
Fucking assholes.
No, truth.
You know what? I shouldn't say it.
No, say it. Go on. We're open here.
No, that's all. Now it's too late, right?
No, it's not too late.
I was gonna say. I read a book by Aleister Crowley, and
Oh fuck, really?
I was gonna say Will should know who that is.
I do. I certainly do.
Aleister Crowley. He wrote a book called Diary of a Drug Fiend.
Are we shocked here that I don't know who this guy is?
You don't know him?
No.
Oh my god.
He's a fascinating character.
Oh fuck, is he? Yeah. Fuck yes.
He got like heavy into drugs, and then he got heavy into like witchcraft and spirituality and shit like that.
Okay.
Developed his own. I think he developed his own religion.
Yes, he
or-
did. Yeah.
Then he developed some like spells of his own and like
Yeah.
conjuring stuff. Like he went way off. Like yeah,
You've got
way
so
out.
there's actually a tenant in the Satanist cult that really follow him. They put him there as being. I'm not saying that he is, but they put him as being the living incarnation of Satan himself. So,
Oh really? Eh?
yeah, they really put him up there.
He's a weird guy. If you look at pictures
Fuck
of
yeah.
him, he's always dressed in like robes and like a. He's got like a hat with symbols on it and shit. Looks like a real deal wizard. You know what I mean? But anyway, one of his books is Diary of a Drug Fiend, which is like semi autobiographical, because he was heavy into drugs like cocaine and heroin, and then he went on a trip, like an actual road trip around Europe, and so the book is about a fictitious couple that goes on a road trip and then meets some fucking drug guru, which is supposed to be Aleister Crowley, and then this guy introduces them to his like cult. But what I was gonna say was in the book, since it was written, I don't know when it was written, 30s or
It would be.
40s or something like
It
that.
would be, yeah.
They referred to Italians in the book really derogatorily, I should say.
Yeah, whatever.
And which really surprised me when I read it, because they were going around Europe and they're talking about different people they're meeting, and they're like, the Italians are," and they use the N-word for them in the book.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I understand that.
that really surprised. When I was reading it, I was like, "Whoa, holy shit, really?" And then they said it like several times.
Yeah,
Really weird.
Well, in the 20s and the 30s, the Italians got a really massive bad rap.
Yeah, well, they
in
must have.
Europe.
Yeah.
No, they did. It was massive. Basically, because of their changeover to fascism and what fascism meant, and how they adopted it, how Mussolini portrayed the country and portrayed everything about it, and then when it transferred over to Germany as well, obviously that hatred towards Germans grew very vehement in Europe at the time. So
Yeah, so
But the other, using the N-word, that makes sense because of what happened in like Sicily with the Africans and the Moors.
the Moors, yeah, they controlled Sicily.
Yeah, at one point they came over and they like the Africans. They tried to take over Italy through Sicily. So at one point they had full like reigns over Sicily, and then like the idea is that they raped and pillaged the everybody.
allegedly,
I've heard about
Allegedly,
that.
of
I've
course,
heard
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
And then like after the Italians came back and got them out, the women in the villages started having like half babies, half black babies. So
I've heard that story. I don't know any.
I think that's where the idea of calling them the N-word is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Whatever. I mean,
it's a
it's a shitty way to be, but
it's a good book. It's a really fascinating book, and
he produced some fascinating
Really
writing.
interesting.
But what the fuck?
really interesting. It's
What?
Dog hairs.
shut up.
Dog hairs on the microphone.
Hold on.
I'm familiar with that stuff.
Anyways, we're back. We were talking about that book.
A good book.
Oh yeah, it's a good book. It deals a lot with addiction and controlling. He teaches them to control their addiction and use it for positive means.
Okay.
It's a pretty good book. There's a lot of good stuff in it. So But yeah,
Fair enough.
He's a fascinating character.
I guess I'll check it out. But the idea of the whole like calling at times, I think that's the origin of where they were calling them that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it surprised me. It was the first time I saw that, but it's written in a little older style of English,
Speaking of which, like even in
so you might not get some of it.
going through high school, a lot of the Sicilian kids were shunned out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from the other Italian kids for being black.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't care. I mean, it's pretty obvious I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with you, whatever.
Well, Sicily has been controlled by a lot of different countries.
I mean, I joke around. I always say that Sicily is like Italy's Newfoundland.
See, the problem is everybody tries to take over Italy by means of Sicily first, right? I think it was controlled by the French at one point. And
I have no
I think
idea.
it was controlled by, Prussians or something? I don't know. It was controlled by a lot of different people.
But
The invasion of Italy went through Sicily.
During
World War II.
World War II, it did, yeah. Yep.
My dad was part of that.
good, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's awesome, yeah.
He was seconded into the stories he told me about that. I was blown away by it because it was the Americans are fucked, seriously fucked.
You just realized this?
No, God, no. But the way that the Italian campaign went, there was British, like he was in the Coilies in the King's Own Yorkshire Light Infantry, and they were seconded to, or they were soldiers seconded to the American army, and they were part of the invasion of Sicily and went through Palermo and places like that. Went up the Italian peninsula. There was the British and Canadians that were seconded to the American force. This is the way that the Americans fought their victory. Was that they would send the British and Canadian forces in, and they would go and let's take this hill. So they took this hill. The Americans would then go to secure it and lose the fucking thing, because the Germans would push them back. So then the British and the Canadians had to go up again, take that fucking thing, secure it. Then the Americans would then go down to the other side, onto the other hill, and then the British would go up. The British and the Canadians would go up the next fucking thing, and it would like that. They were all the way up to like Monte Cassino, and obviously being bombed to fuck. And it was just like, this is fucking insane. All these people are being killed because the Americans keep losing these fucking hills.
Well,
It was fucking nuts.
What I heard the biggest thing was who would take credit for taking Rome. And they said that the British and Canadians,
They got there first.
they got to Rome,
Yeah.
and they said, well, we're going to move in and liberate it. It's all but liberated. We just have to go in there.
Yeah.
And they were told to wait. They got
Yeah.
orders to wait. Then
The Americans.
the Americans showed up with some high up general.
Yeah.
And
walked
then the
in.
Americans went in there and did
Yeah.
it.
And that was the liberation of Rome.
Yeah,
By
they
the
were
Americans.
they
But it
were
wasn't.
pissed.
It was by the British and Canadians.
Yeah.
They'd literally already liberated it.
Yeah, they did everything. They said, do not go into Rome. Yeah.
I know. I'm not taking away from your father's story, and thank you. I appreciate that because there's a lot of family members that needed that. But that's one of the reasons why, like for instance, I don't play Medal of Honor.
Why is that?
If you play the game, the first Medal of Honor, it's at Dieppe,
Okay.
right?
in France, yeah.
Yeah. Which, if anyone knows, it was the English and the fucking Canadians that went in there and fucking destroyed
Well, in
everything.
real history has always been bastardized by the Americans. Do you look
Well, Dieppe was the expeditionary force, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
but
the
it was-
British.
It was the British and the Canadians and all that stuff. And
But that wasn't so successful.
No, it wasn't.
No.
whether it was successful or not, because they went up the furthest up that area.
You're thinking landing in Normandy.
Is that maybe not the Eben? It's the one where it has like the big shrine to the Canadians and the English.
D-Day? I mean,
Where
D-Day?
they just put up on the boats at the beaches and stuff.
So you're thinking Normandy then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Where are the 5 beaches?
Yeah, and then they went up.
Juno, Gold,
Yeah,
Omaha.
and they all went up. They all went up to liberate everybody, and they got to the furthest points. And the
But
Americans
the problem with that is that the Americans did have a hard time because they landed on one of the hardest beaches to traverse.
Omaha was...
That was really, really difficult for the Americans to make a bridge on that because it was so difficult.
which is fine. But listen, when I'm playing a video game, and then you're like, we're in the beaches of Normandy and all this stuff, and you don't even mention the Canadians or the English, and you make it look like it was the Americans that did everything.
Yeah.
In the video game, you've taken over all 5 beaches, and it's all Americans, and nobody's helping you. The rest of the world has left you alone.
Yeah.
That's
So
ridiculous.
yeah, they had... The Americans had Omaha, Nebraska. The British were Golden Sword, and the Canadians had Juno Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the
big-
shrine is, right?
The big screw-up for the Americans on Omaha was that their naval bombardment hit nothing.
Yeah.
So all the beach defenses were still there when they landed.
Yeah.
Apparently, whoever was shooting those guns on that ship really sucked, and they overshot all the beach defenses the Germans had. But the other beaches, they took out most of the defenses, and
Yeah.
guys had much easier time. Canadians did go in quite a bit further, but they did have an easier time of things landing. They lost
there
a lot of
wasn't-
guys, but they,
Yeah, and I understand that, but at least make the context of the story right.
yeah, I know. It's just
Not that the whole world had abandoned the Americans and they did it on their own.
true.
No, but
Omaha gets talked about a lot because of how hard it was for the Americans to do it.
But you have to
became-
give them do have to give them credit for what they did because when they did land, they were losing men hand over fist. They were being fucking strafed completely, and it was heroic what they did at that beach. It really, really was. You've got to admire them for what they fucking actually did at that point.
No. I'm not taking away from what they did.
But saying that the Canadians and the British didn't participate in the Normandy landings is rather ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why it pisses me off. I played the game for 5 minutes and I took it back to the store.
Yeah, they're saying all 5 beaches were taken by the Americans.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't. That wasn't the case at all.
And that the Americans went the furthest stop in the thing. Like, it was the exact same story that I learned in history class, except that it was the Americans and not the British and the Canadians.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I literally I turned the game off and I went back to the store. I'm like, oh,
Well, I think what was it called? U54. I can't remember the fucking name of the movie, but I never went to see it because it was about how the Americans captured a U-boat that had Enigma on it. And it just wasn't. It's complete rewritten history. It just wasn't the case. And I just like, how can you? I mean, okay. History is written by the victors. It's always written by the victors, no matter which way you do it. But there's writing history to be favourable towards you, and then there's completely and utterly rewriting history. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I hate the Mormon faith, is because they literally took the Bible and they wrote it as this guy with his magic underpants, you know what I mean? In the US, that Jesus visited the US and became whatever. Like, I can't stand the way that they rewrite history. Instead, yeah, you can look at it from your perspective. I don't have a problem with that because each nation does that. Canada does that, Britain does that, France does that, all of them. But then just literally to rewrite history in a complete favor? No.
I don't think, I like to think Canada is more objective to it. Maybe I'm wrong. It's because I've gone through the education system here. But I like to think that there's, like, they don't have a problem in history.
The one problem I have with Canadian history is you hear so many Canadians, if not 99.9% of Canadians will talk about the 1812 the War of 1812. And it was Canadians that went down and burnt the White House and everything else. No, it fucking wasn't. Yes, you were a part of the Canadian nation, but you were a British Dominion. And as a British Dominion, it was British that went down and burnt the fucking thing. But they won't accept it, which is fine. I get that. Because what you get is history written in your perspective. That's fine. I understand that. That's no problem. No problem at all. The more that I read about British history is one of the reasons why I began to really detest especially the British Parliament and British history, because it's never ever said how awful the British really were to the colonies. They were fucking repugnant towards them. It was diabolical, is British history, when you read it in the true context. It was they were basically evil. They went across the world and they colonized all these different countries across the world, just to rape those countries of their resources to bring them back to make Britain basically the most popular and most powerful nation on the earth. That's what they did.
It's kind of sad, but I was talking about that with somebody else, and I found that all the seafaring nations at that time who were looking to colonize places like Portugal, Spain, and I think France as well as England.
Italy had a go, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
There we go. Just waiting for him to get that one.
That's true. They couldn't build the boats properly.
Well, like everybody that colonized, eventually they did kill a lot of the natives, right?
Oh fuck yeah.
And but I said, would you rather it be France, England, or Portugal that took your country? And they're like, well, how bad was Portugal, right? How bad was Spain?
Well,
and I said,
Look
Portugal and Spain,
Look what
especially
they did
Portugal,
did to the Aztecs. And
they
the
wiped
Incas
out. They wiped out the whole civilization of the Aztecs and the Incas and all that. So, I mean, it happened every single time, no matter who it was, but to a much bigger degree was the Spanish and the Portuguese. Not to insult the Spanish and Portuguese here, but
yeah, but that's still.
I know Dom doesn't care about me insulting the Portuguese, though.
Well, no.
I don't mind either.
No, he's jealous of their bricklaying skills.
What, the Portuguese?
Yes.
They're just Italians with Down syndrome.
There it is.
What?
Never mind.
Why are you shocked that I said that?
Never mind. No.
You shouldn't be shocked at all, sir. Not at all.
Sure. Anyway, Mr. Trump.
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Trump has finally opened his fucking orange mouth about the abortion issue that's rife across the social media at the moment, which I don't suppose you would read about it because...
I'm against it.
You're against what?
Women have they're right to do whatever they want.
What? Explain yourself. I have no clue what you mean.
Women have the right to do whatever they want to their body. When they have an abortion, have an
Oh,
abortion.
that's fine. Yeah, fine. That's cool.
Yeah,
But
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Do you know where the bills have been signed?
Wait, Alabama?
Alabama and...
I don't know the other one. I know it's the incest capitals of the world.
I think Missouri.
Yeah,
I think Alabama's the most famous one, though.
Yeah, there's Georgia and Missouri.
You can fuck your cousin, you can't abort him. That's good. That's beautiful.
That's good?
Oh, wow. Spoken from
Listen.
an Italian there.
Listen, it'll be funny to see what comes out of there in about 10, 15 years.
As if
Three-eyed little brats.
If Italians ran the world.
What?
Fucking cousins.
Yeah.
Vaffanculo. We don't even watch
Caligula.
You're like, it's like a fucking cousins. I mean, that's cool.
No.
And then you went on to something else. I'm like, wait a minute,
Whoa.
what?
We don't even watch The Godfather Part 3 because they fuck cousins in that movie.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michael's daughter and Sonny's son start having a little affair there. And I'm like, that's it. That's enough. I'm done.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, let's get back to the point. Because obviously you're airing your views on this, which is that abortion is okay. It's a woman's right to choose what she.
Yes, I only have one problem with it.
Oh.
I don't see an out of it. So I mean,
Can you give birth?
can I give birth?
Yeah.
I wish I could.
That's an interesting answer, but the
Wow,
answer is
okay.
no.
No, but I wish I could.
Okay, so what the fuck's it got to do with you?
See, that's the one dilemma that I have with the idea
With
of abortion, and I don't see an out of it, but I will concede to it because there's no way of out. There's no out to it. There's no.
What is your point? I don't know what your point is.
My thing is like, yes, it's a woman's body, and she can do whatever she wants with it, and that's cool.
That's it. That's where you should stop.
But
There's no but go on.
if the male wants the baby, that's still half his child. It takes two people to make a child, right?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
So that
So the condom splits, and she gets pregnant because the pill doesn't work, or whatever reason, blah blah blah. And she says, "No, I don't want to carry a
and
baby."
the guy wants to have the baby.
It's like, no.
That's where I'm torn because I would know that I would want the baby. You may not want to. After you have the baby, you don't want to be in the life. I get it. You can leave. You can do whatever you want. I'm not coming after you for child support. I'm not going to deal with you. You can stay away. You can sign the rights over. I don't care. But that's still my baby, and I want to have an opportunity to raise that baby.
But then you're basically forcing her to have a baby that she.
That's why I've conceded to it. There's no other.
You know what I mean?
There's no other.
No,
option.
I accept your point. I do accept your point, and I
That's the only
wouldn't
sad thing
really go down the road of having a proper debate on that. But what you're looking at Trump saying, he's now saying that he's strongly against abortion, unless it's incest and rape. So you would, like most incels do that, but then you've got all the other people that will back him on that one, because it's like, no, it's you've no fucking right to say that, and especially the heartbeat thing. Fuck off.
See the whole
What
crux of
the
it, and
fuck?
I was talking with Emily about this today, and I told Emily my views on it. And I said, look, right off the bat, I'm telling you, I'm pro-choice. Okay, you choose to do whatever you want, but I wish it didn't have to happen, because the whole
I think we're all in that.
the whole concept of abortion isn't very nice. I wish it didn't have to come to that, but I'm pro-choice. The problem is, I said, and this is it relates to another law, which is murder. If you murder a pregnant woman, there's no law in the books that says if the woman's pregnant at no matter what stage, that you get charged with the murder of the baby, the unborn baby. And there's a reason for that too, because they have to say that the baby is a human being. So
Yes.
if they say in the case of murder that the baby's a human being, and a person gets charged for like double murder, that means now there's legal precedent that says an unborn baby is a human being, which means it can apply to abortion as well. And then all abortions now, under legal precedent, are considered murder. So I told her, I said, even though I'm pro-choice, it's never going to be, abortion is never going to be legal or illegal. They're never going to do that because they have to change, because they have to say that a baby is a human being. After they do that, it changes other laws too.
Oh, massively. Yeah.
And I said that's never going to happen. But I said I am pro-choice, but I'd rather it not come to that, obviously. But I said the other problem is there's exceptions to everything. And I said, and she stated the Alabama law, and I said, well, you got to read the Alabama law because there are exceptions in it. And they do. Some of the exceptions are rape and incest, and I think there's something else too. But they do write into the law exceptions. But
Well, they're going completely against the Roe versus Wade.
Roe versus Wade, right.
That is in the. I mean, this is why the challenge is why these laws are going to fail, is because it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and even though they've got a Supreme Court that is heavily on the side of the right wing and the Republican side on the United States of America, If they then fall and say, okay, Roe versus Wade has got to be changed, there's going to be such an eruption.
They're not
in the United States. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it.
Even if the Supreme Court justices are pro-life, they won't change that law.
No.
They're not going to bother doing it. Roe versus Wade set down which trimesters or which stage of the development of the baby
Which
that
was
you could
3,
do.
right? No,
You could do certain types of abortions at certain stages, and then there's a cutoff.
I think it was like the 3rd trimester. Right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a cutoff where there's a certain procedure of an abortion that they can't do.
Yeah, I think it was like just before 6 months. I think.
See, but I always
It's
I
later
always
than that. You can have like late term abortions in the US now.
Yeah, but that
Some
has
do
that.
it.
But I think that's.
some do it.
Yeah, I think that's. But that includes it because like if the baby's like stillborn or
No.
no, okay, well, I don't know. Listen, I'm not a
Well,
woman.
that's another one of the exceptions, right? If the baby's going to come out deformed, if the baby's going to come out stillborn,
Yeah, like,
if the mother's life is in danger, there's exceptions to it. But the Alabama law says the doctor's the only one that gets punished.
That's the thing. If they perform the operation, then
Like-
they're the ones that can get punished.
listen, I'm completely pro-choice. It with the one exception that I've conceded to because there's no other option. At that point, then it's not pro-choice, and that's even I.
Well,
think that's
I
wrong.
think that the one thing that really sickened me was that you're looking at a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. She would have to carry a rapist baby to full term. These aren't laws yet because they haven't been signed and they haven't been challenged and everything else. So, I mean, it's still a matter that people can legally get abortions in these states. And it's all, a lot of it is fear-mongering as well. But the thing is that when you write that in as into law, that there is no exceptions. When they turn around and say, okay, you're raped by your uncle or your father, and then you have to take that baby, carry that baby till. That's
no.
just, dude. That irrespective of any sort of supposed religious beliefs, that it's sick.
No, left or right.
Truly,
or
truly
really,
sick.
no, that's just no. I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah. Well, I told, yeah, you're right. The Alabama law, even though they passed it, like they signed it, it's not actual law yet.
No.
It still has to survive the Supreme Court challenge and all that stuff. But
Well, even
I
the
keep
appellate
saying-
court, he
Yeah.
hasn't even gone there yet. So,
But I keep saying, I said, look, this whole abortion debate, like you mentioned, it was fear mongering, right? I said this whole thing it was out of just fear and propaganda, because that justice got admitted to the court, right? And and the Democrats kept saying, "Oh, he's going to overturn Roe versus Wade, Roe versus Wade," and then he said, "Well, actually, I'm not going to touch it," but everybody kept saying it, right? And then New York, they passed a bill which allowed abortions up until the point of birth,
yeah.
which that's not a law yet. It still has to survive challenges and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they went crazy in New York because they thought that this guy was going to overturn Roe versus Wade and make abortions illegal. So they skipped ahead and made it legal all the way up until the point of birth.
Yeah.
And then that's what triggered the other states to say, well, screw you. We're going to do it. We're going to make it illegal now once there's a heartbeat. And I was like, this whole thing is just fear-mongering.
Yeah.
Started by
I mean,
started by people that don't like somebody that got elected to a... I was
Another
like,
state,
nobody was going to do anything.
No.
And
This is all nonsense. And I was like, oh, this is brutal.
That's the problem with American politics is that
Yeah.
it's not based on what's best for the people. It's based on who I fucking like and who I don't
But
like.
I on that, you're making a point there, which I think many Canadians really are not taking on board. You're saying that that's the problem with American politics. That's also happening in this country as we speak. It's happening now. You look at the stand that people like Ford, like Scheer, they're all taking in, like they're anti-choice. But yet you still have conservatives that will vote blindly for conservatives because they're conservative, irrespective of what they're saying, irrespective of what they mean. They will just vote conservative because it's conservative. I'm not saying that they should go out and vote liberal. I'm not saying whatever. But there again, you literally have to hold those guys to account and say, okay, this is your stand here. And if Scheer turns around and says, I'm pro-life, then you've got to look at that and say, right, am I going to vote for your party to put you in to power and to give you the opportunity to change laws that Canadians have lived with for many, 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 many years?
That's the thing, though. It's the weirdest thing about it. Out of all the laws and everything that's ever happened over the years, usually after a couple, a little bit, it just dies out and nobody talks about it again. And it just becomes part of,
In what sense? What are you talking
like being gay. At one time, being gay was illegal here.
Yeah.
Right? No, it doesn't matter. You see a guy and a girl holding hands or whatever, kissing, you're just like, oh, whatever, it's part of life, whatever.
A guy and a girl, that's fine.
No, a guy kissing another guy or a girl.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, now it's like, who gives a fuck? It was never been re-debated, like, we should make homos illegal again. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, except for in the Italian community, right?
Oh, not at all, man. I don't care. Why are you trying to...
But
I didn't. There's no gay Italians, right?
There's a lot of gay homos and Italians.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I just thought you guys were so manly that
Gay Bobby's a
it
wop.
did not occur. I don't know.
Gay Bobby's a wop. He's one of my best friends.
All right.
But
Finlayson? That's that's an Italian name?
He's a Munja wop.
Oh, okay, I got you.
whatever that is.
And half Munja cake, half Italian.
Oh, okay. half insult makes insult. So it's sort of yeah.
But he's a homo. He sucks cock. Whatever. Suck away.
But going back there, this is the one thing that you look and you go back to the election of when the Orange Man was brought into power, right? There he said that and make America great again. We've still yet to see what that actually means, but what he meant by that, and to the predominantly white people that he was saying it to get him elected, was to go back to the 1950s and 1960s when they had all those regressive laws, etc. in the United States, when white supremacy was like an elite. That was it. That's what he wanted to bring back, and that's how he got elected. And he's going to carry on with that.
He's going to get another term, you know.
Well, I just don't know what policies that he's brought. See, you know what?
He hasn't brought.
This
that's
is why
the whole thing.
I don't like talking about Donald Trump, because you know what? It's either you hate the guy. There's a lot of people that absolutely hate him, or you don't hate him. But you can never convince the other person of anything. See, the problem is that I don't know what policies that he's instituted that would make the country more white supremacist or racist.
No, we don't. But I'm talking about the election campaign. What he did on the election campaign, make America great again. This is what. But even when you go back to the debates, which I'm a fucking masochist, obviously, because I go back and I rewatch them. In those debates...
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're that angry about it.
Those debates, he said nothing. He didn't say anything of substance, and he was voted to become allegedly the most powerful man on this planet.
He made it cool to grab a girl by a pussy.
And why is that a good thing?
That was a secretly recorded. I don't think he went on the campaign trail.
Well, no, he didn't. No. Fuck.
See you later, everybody. Grab a girl by the pussy. Good night. See you later. We're like, wait, what did he say there? What was that?
Yeah, but he literally said nothing in the debates. But That's
Yeah.
by the by. And him coming out and saying and opening his mouth on this particular thing, it's just like, what the fuck? But on the other side of this, and I do understand the anger by women. Yes, I do get that. I know that they are angry about what's happening there. I get that. That's fine. But then to turn around and say that all males should be castrated until they're about to have children, the medical facts there
Who said that?
it's all over social media. I'll send you a couple of links to
Donald Trump said that?
No.
Oh, people are just saying
yeah,
that.
people.
Oh,
women,
gotcha,
women,
okay.
women are using that.
Jeez.
They've bitten into this anger, and now this is the fight back.
Right.
But the problem is, it's exactly the same. Like for me, I had a vasectomy 20 years ago,
Right.
maybe longer, and no, can't be longer. What the fuck am I talking about? It's 20 years ago. So now, for me to be to be undone,
Have it reversed, yeah.
have it reversed, and then to try and have a child is practically impossible
Right.
because it's been so many years. What the fuck?
I have no idea what that was.
To have so many years. It's you sending Scott a fucking text, I think.
No.
And then, sorry, for after so many years, and then it just becomes irreversible. So if you were to castrate all males and then expect them to be able to give you children after 7 years,
Right.
it's practically impossible. So that doesn't even achieve the aim that you're looking for. Like now, I mean, as I say, I can understand the anger that women are having, but they have to turn it into a political anger and say, okay, this is how we get back and take these people out of power.
Well, this goes back to abortion as well, which I discussed with my girlfriend, which is governments can't force you to do something with your body, because one of your human rights is you have dominion over your body and what you can do to it, right? And she agreed with that, and I said, she goes, that's why, women should be allowed to do that, have an abortion, because it's their body. And I said, right. So the argument is that the baby inside your body is not part of your body. And I said, that's the argument. And so but
Well,
this is
what
the
point-
thing. And I said, the reason why abortion is still legal is because it hasn't been determined that the baby inside is a human yet.
Well,
So
is-
until it reaches a certain point.
Exactly. I mean,
So-
but at what point do we then say that is an autonomous human being?
Right. Exactly.
You can't do that. I mean, it's the same like you've got a zygote, which then...
Are they small hands?
But that's what I was saying. But what I'm saying is like the whole castration thing is, well, you can't do that because now, if the government forced you to do something with your body, then they can turn around and say the same thing now.
Well,
about abortion,
exactly.
right?
That's my argument.
Right,
That's the ultimate in the argument. Not just the medical sphere on that. It's also the ultimate that you're now saying you're literally doing exactly what the anti-abortionists are doing by saying that the government now has dominion over you in such a degree that they can force you to do whatever, which then, as we all know... Well, forget it.
Oh, can
No,
I say one thing? Can I go back to Donald Trump?
I'm just trying to make it funny. I'm gonna go.
No,
Hey, can I go back
no.
and say something about the whole Donald Trump campaign? As much as you hate Donald Trump, I can tell you one huge reason why he won is because he went against a Democratic candidate that was the worst candidate I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yes.
Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
She was horrendous.
But the thing is, where I'm erring on the side of him getting a second term, they're now going for Joe Biden. They're pushing Joe Biden, Joe
Yep.
Biden, Joe Biden,
Joe
Joe
Biden.
Biden, Joe Biden. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're now putting Hillary Clinton, too, up against Donald Trump.
So your man...
What the fuck are you doing?
No, because
This-
Joe Biden don't get fucking Obama to be the vice president. He'll win.
So I know your man Bernie Sanders made a mistake by running as a Democrat.
Yes.
He should have run it as independent
Yes.
because
I
they're
agree.
they're going to force him out of there and push Joe Biden instead.
They're going to force all of them out.
So I don't know how many candidates there are now, 23 or something
They're
for the Democrats.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, once they all start dropping out, they're all going to push Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And Bernie Sanders is going to be forced out of there.
He
should have run as an independent.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, they can turn around and say, okay, that's going to split the vote and things like that. I'm not so sure about that. Not this time round.
Yeah.
Not this time round. It could have quite easily been the first independent president the United States have ever had.
Possible.
That's the way that I would have thought it was gone. But on your view, because of what they're doing, no. But I wouldn't say that Biden's just going to get the votes. No.
I don't know. Those memes went a long way after he Donald won.
I honestly, I don't.
Joe Biden only became famous because of those stupid fucking memes.
Where he keeps touching people?
No, the one where it'd be something stupid where it was him and Obama talking, and they would put something like, I hid the crazy glue in his shampoo and his.
Oh,
and Obama's like, Biden, stop it or whatever. It was just a bunch of those.
Oh yeah, I see.
You see, the thing is now, Joe Biden hasn't done anything wrong per se when it comes down to children, as far as we know. And I mean, he may be just a simple guy that's touchy-feely.
Yeah.
But because you have, immediately, Fox News, they hit on it and they go, look, he's touching kids in the wrong way.
Well, I know he's touched. I know he keeps.
What the fuck?
I know he's massaged and touched candidates' wives and shit like that too, politicians' wives. I know it's not just kids.
No. Well, I mean, if that's it, okay, but that's what they're going to run a campaign on, or because that's one of the things they do in politics now. It's they've started with Trudeau. Again, I am not a Trudeau supporter. They are now
thank fucking God.
They are now turning around and saying, look, he's not worth whatever, and he's not whatever written on the can and everything else. Look, come out with your policies. Let people judge you on your policies rather than just attacking the opponent.
I agree.
You want to do American politics, then become America. Join, whatever.
I agree with that.
Fuck.
I agree.
Bring out the policies.
Yeah.
Bring the policies to the people and let the people elect you on that stand. That's what you need to do.
I can agree with you on that one. I like that idea. We don't agree on much, but that I can agree on. Yeah. I don't like American. I like watching American politics away from America because it's funny to me.
It is funny to me. I just find it ridiculous that the American people can literally elect a president like they have done for the reasons they did. It's fucking stupid.
I can figure it out why. Come on now.
Well, I mean, could you imagine if he'd have been Italian? Fuck me.
What's with the fucking WAP jokes tonight?
I don't use that term. Why are you attacking me? Why are you shouting at me? You didn't shout at Scott. Why? Why are you shouting at me?
I'm yelling at the both of you.
Why are you shouting at me? You're shouting at me, but you didn't shout at Scott. And
Why are you?
Scott has made far more
jokes
to
too.
Oh yeah, I got one loaded up about the mafia. So
here we go.
just watch out.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Walk straight into.
Well, I can't do it now. You're just tell me your joke.
Tell me your joke. Actually, I've been trying to get the soundboard. I didn't know the commercial was going to come out. I'll get that edited out. I'm trying to get a soundboard going on.
Why?
Because I like soundboards. It's funny to me.
Yeah, okay. As I said, don't give up your day job.
You know what?
Really. Don't ever go to Yuk Yuk's.
Listen here, slapnuts.
In fact, I'd like to see you go up on stage and do your performance on stage and see how the crowd reacts. That'd be good. I'd like to see that.
No, I don't need to do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Why? You find these things funny, so really to project it to other people and see how they find it funny. I'd like to see that as an experiment.
I don't know. Well, listen, I think being a stand-up comic is a craft.
Americans are not issuing a warning about the Middle East.
I don't give a fuck about the Middle East. You Google. Well, not at this moment, anyways. I mean, anyways. It just went on. I didn't touch it or nothing. Anyways.
That's AI for you.
Yeah, just start playing something about the fucking Middle East. I'm like, who gives a fuck right now? I'm trying to do a podcast. I think that being a stand-up comedian is like a craft, and where you have to hone it all the time. And I don't have that time or effort to put into it.
Or talent.
No, I think I think I have the talent.
Yeah.
You have a talent or the talent?
The talent to be a stand-up comedian. I think I have it. I just don't think I have the time to hone it and give it as enough.
Well, tell us a joke then.
Well, it's not just telling jokes. It's like telling stories. I'm pretty good at telling stories. Scott's been there where I've told stories with the guys and they've just been in fucking stitches. And I got the time. I'm pretty good.
Drag him out a bit.
Again, that's the part of honing my skill and stuff like that. And I respect the craft enough that I don't. Because I love stand-up.
Well, some of these stories I don't believe, so I don't know.
What story don't you believe?
I don't know.
Go fuck yourself. You know my stories are
Listen,
true.
you're like Dom. You drag him out. You're Italian. You know, some of the stories are just. I can't believe them. You know.
Does he? The thing is, he doesn't do the typical Italian speak with the hands thing, though, does he?
Yeah, you do.
You don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, I fucking do.
No, you fucking don't.
Yeah. You met a girl. You fucked her 4 times in one night. I get it. You know.
Yeah.
There's a pattern. There's a pattern to his stories. This is why I make a joke, but it's
Yeah.
somewhat not a joke. But anyway, I make the joke still.
Yeah.
There's a pattern to his stories. They're supposed to be random stories, but there's a pattern to them all.
Okay, what's the pattern?
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you because then you'll change it.
Yeah.
Anything my stories are lies.
I didn't say that.
So what are they then?
I don't know.
There's
I've noticed a pattern. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're lies. I think I find some of them enjoyable. That's all. They're good stories.
What, you think they're like stretched out?
I shouldn't have said anything. Now he's never going to let this go.
No, he's not.
No,
Because
I'm not,
he's
I'm not.
taking it as a personal insult.
Yeah, I know.
That's it. So instead of just shrugging it off and going "fuck you," then that's it. Now it's like 3 million miles have already gone
yeah.
because
Yeah,
his
my
thought
rocket's
process-
already blown off about
It's
it. I'm
already
already,
gone.
I'm already
Yeah,
at Mars, bro.
Now I'm not talking to anybody else ever again in my whole life because
I liked your story about when you were at, which is odd because at Ray's funeral. You telling the story about Ray's funeral where like they were lifting his coffin, and they're all weak and they couldn't do it, and they were like stumbling trying to lift the coffin, and
His ass comes out.
you guys had to like, and yeah. I'm like, what do you mean his ass was coming out? And it's like, yeah, his body was slipping out of the coffin.
what?
I'm like, oh my God. And then he goes, they all had to run forward and grab the coffin and pick it back up. And I was like, holy crap, that's like
The
a.
coffin wasn't screwed down.
I was like,
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
dark comedy, like if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, dude.
You automatically do that. I mean, I was one of the people that literally screwed my dad's coffin down
No,
before it was moved.
No, hold on. In the Muslim faith, they really they're supposed to only be
They don't have coffins, do they?
they're supposed to be buried in a tarp or whatever. Not a tarp, a blanket. I don't know what
You know
it's
what's
called.
funny? You know what?
He's a big guy.
I knew once this got brought up that all I had to do was wait for Dom to like try to explain something about what was happening.
Yeah.
And he like no clue, just like, yeah, I don't know, it's a tarp. Who's he gonna come up and sing Amazing Grace? I don't know. You know?
Yeah, 'cause I was got kicked out of the funeral. But
Like this, because the singer came the last time the singer came up and he goes, "What is she going to sing? Amazing Grace?" I'm like, at a Muslim funeral. Yeah, good one.
No. That ain't happening.
that's what I thought. She was hot too, but I would have fucking spracked her right there. Holy,
At a funeral.
Ray would have been proud of me.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, so they tell.
So they're carrying him
So what happens is
in a tarp.
No, they have him wrapped up, but I guess according to Canadian laws and stuff like that, they still got to be put in a coffin.
What?
You can't just throw the body inside. Like it's got to be in a coffin.
A casket.
Yeah, casket coffin. It's the same fucking thing.
Okay.
Anyways, they make theirs out of plywood, so it just breaks down easily, and then
Plywood?
yeah, pressed plywood.
That doesn't break down easy. You seen the glue that goes into that fucking thing?
Listen, then I don't know why it just made sense to me when I thought about it. I'm like, okay, they don't. It was like a compromise. We don't want to give them a coffin.
Either way, the point was that at one point they had to pick the coffin up.
Yeah, because they tell us if you're not Muslim, you're not allowed to touch the coffin.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, so we all stand back, like and literally, there's way more like Catholics there than there are Muslims at this Muslim funeral. It was the weirdest thing. Like all his friends were Italian and Portuguese and Greeks, and his family members.
That's a combination.
Yeah, and his family members were the
They
only
all
ones.
hate each other, so how are they all the best?
We
of
don't
friends?
hate
true.
each other, man. Shut up.
You definitely hate Portuguese people.
I love Portuguese people.
You definitely hate Greeks.
Definitely hates Greeks.
Yeah,
No, I don't hate Greeks.
yeah you do.
We're better than them, but we're not. I don't hate them.
You insult Greeks and Portuguese as fast as possible when it's brought up.
Yeah, it's because
I can't even get out the word Greek, and then you go, "Oh, those cocksuckers! Oh, those buttfuckers!" You're like spitting it out, trying to get it out, like
Before he's
you're like
got
as
to the
quick
K.
as possible.
Before he's even got to the K.
Boom, boom, there, buttfuckers. Yeah, all right. Anyway, Greek. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Tommy.
So, anyways, there's all these like.
I know the Portuguese don't like the Greeks. They don't like them.
No, I know.
No. And the Greeks don't like any fucker. So. Especially Italians. And that's all down to the Roman and Greco, takeover of the Mediterranean. That's what it is.
Anyways,
Gladiators.
so anyways, they got his family members.
I can't believe that you fucking think plywood fucking rots quicker than any other. I mean,
No,
that's just-
in thinking about it, I was like, okay, it makes sense. It's not that big fucking thing that won't, biodegrade in fucking a million years.
What's that?
Like a coffin, it's all made out of steel and it's airtight and all that stuff, right? So that was like a good compromise. That's what I was thinking in my head. It's like a compromise. We're not allowed to give you a coffin, but
So the coffin was constructed weekly.
yeah, it was made out of plywood, pressed plywood,
Okay. And Ray was a big man.
almost 400 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
big.
So I wouldn't say 4. Yeah, maybe close 375.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
But he was also like a tall guy too.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Anyways, they pick him up, and all we hear is crack, 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 and his fucking culo comes out of the bottom of the coffin, like not that it broke.
Why are
into
you
the-
using Italian language again?
I'm sorry, his ass broke. Not at this, not the hole, like a hole. It was at the seam of the coffin. So I guess it was like wet or whatever, and then I don't know. And all of a sudden, it went like a loop like this. And all
Poorly
of a-
constructed.
That too, and literally his ass was hanging out out of the coffin like that. So we were all just sitting there, and someone said, "Fuck this, I'm helping," and then we all had to pick him up again and help them.
So somebody went over and grabbed his ass and put him back into the coffin.
We
Or
all
it's
did.
just that it was just that it was cracked.
No, it was breaking at the seams. Because you got pictures, there's 6 little Muslim guys, little tiny guys. And they're all, like, fucking, like, And I don't know, maybe it's his family. Like he was the giant of the family. I don't know, because even his dad was a small guy. And they're all trying to and they're struggling to put him in the hole. And we're just sitting there because we're told we're not allowed to touch him. We're not allowed to touch him because we're not Muslim. And all of a sudden we look and his fucking ass is hanging out. Because now the coffin's breaking at the seams, at the bottom seam. So basically it's like his back, and all of a sudden the bottom part of the coffin went like this and back out.
In the shape of an ass.
Well, I mean, at his ass part, yeah. So I'm like, holy fuck, his ass is sticking out. And then I hear someone yelling, fuck this, I'm helping. And one or two guys went towards it, they just grabbed the coffin. And everybody kind of looked at them, and the imam was like, no, it's okay. So then we all grabbed him and put him in there before he fell out.
Yeah, when he first told me the story, he told it much quicker than that, but
Yeah.
but it was a funny story because he's like, he goes, they're trying to pick Ray up and they're all struggling, and then the coffin is tipping and teetering one way or the next, and then it starts cracking and breaking, and then the body starts falling out, and I was like, oh my god, this is a dark comedy if I've ever heard one. And he goes, oh, then we all had to rush forward and grab it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh Jesus.
Death at a funeral.
Nah. Well, what was the
There was
what was the other thing that made me laugh? He said
there was a couple things.
you thought you were at the wrong funeral because they kept saying somebody's name, and you're like, who the fuck's that? But it was Ray's actual name.
Yeah. They were saying Raheem, whatever, and I'm like, I look at my brother, who the fuck is Raheem? And my brother's like, are you fucking serious? And I'm like, no, I think we're in the wrong funeral, bro. They're asking for Raheem. I'm like, my brother's like, Ray, you idiot. I was like,
I think when you told me when you first told me, you're like,
why would the question that jumps straight out there is why would you think Ray is a Muslim name or an Arabic name? Why would you think that? Why?
dude, listen, I was distraught. Listen, losing Ray was a very difficult time in my life. It still hurts me today. I'll start crying. And the last person's funeral I wanted to be at was Ray. I could pick 100 people I'd rather see dead.
Okay.
And Ray would have not even cracked.
Why
that.
would you think his name was Ray in reality?
he said some of the family when he told me, he goes, he turned to it and he actually said, who the fuck is Raheem? And he said there's family members that are they turn around, they're staring at him. And he's like, Raheem, what's going on here? And they're looking at Dom, and he's still going on about. He's like, what is Raheem? I don't know Raheem, this and that. I don't know who that is. And they're just staring at him. And then finally, someone's like, it's fucking Ray, man.
My brother did. He's like, he's fucking Ray.
And then he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That makes sense.
He says the family members are staring at him.
Yeah.
This Italian guy going on about we're at the wrong funeral. Who's Raheem?
There was that.
Where's Ray?
And then they did something nice. They're like, okay, because of our Catholic friends that are here today, their tradition is that they say goodbye to the body, and we're going to allow you to do that, but you can't touch the body. Which was nice. They allowed us to do that, right? They didn't tell me there was 2 coffins there. They do the community funerals. So
I'm not even fucking. Oh,
So I go,
fucking God.
and I'm crying, bawling my eyes out.
Oh my.
Oh, Ray, I miss you. I look, I'm like, the fuck did they do to you? Like, can't these motherfuckers even embalm somebody? And she was like, what the fuck are you saying? I'm like, what did they do to Ray? Look at this.
You're like, it doesn't even look like Ray at all.
I'm like, how do these motherfuckers can't even embalm me? He's like, it's not Ray, it's his uncle. I'm like, what? He goes, they do everybody all at once, and this died during the week. And I'm like, oh. He goes, the big coffin over there is Ray. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
It could be a dark comedy.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously. Yeah.
The best is the one about Allah and what is it? It's Allah, Muhammad, and Sally. That involves the girl though.
Yeah.
The girl I wanted to scaff right there, bro.
It involves him messing up a name and then everybody staring at him again. Who the hell's Sally? Never heard of a Sally? And then you see all these Muslim heads turn towards him. And who the hell is this guy?
The ushers. They're looking at me at this point. Dude, for 3 hours. Allah, Muhammad, and Sally. Allah, Muhammad. I'm like, who the fuck is Sally and why is she hanging out with Allah and Muhammad? I don't get this at all. I thought they don't even like women.
This is Dom vocalizing what's in his head.
Yeah.
Loudly.
Yeah. To my brother. And, I'm like, who the fuck is Sally? Why is she hanging out with Allah and Muhammad?
It's one of those times where, like, you're sitting right beside me, but I'm still going to yell at you anyway. Who the fuck is Muhammad? Who knows Sally? What are these people? And everybody overhears and like...
Well, no,
In a very, very, very religious place.
Yeah, really.
I know who Allah and Muhammad are, but who is Sally and what she got to hang out with these guys? And dude, it went on for 3 hours. 3 fucking hours. I already called my other Muslim friends after the funeral. I'm like, if you motherfuckers die, I ain't coming. I'm not coming to your funeral. I'll go to a hill somewhere and say goodbye, guys. Nice seeing you. Don't invite me. I don't care. I've already told them. Adil and Maruf. I'm not coming. You guys, the funeral's way too long. I got to hear about Allah, Muhammad, and Sally for 3 fucking hours. No, thank you. And then for 3 hours, then the girl gets up because it was a guy doing it. And again, that's the hot girl I would have fucking scaffed. Right? And she gets up and she starts clearing her throat.
You didn't have sex with her?
Me. I would have fucking in a
You
second.
didn't? Did she know you're Italian?
Right?
I mean, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, she should have been.
I mean, really, did you just walk up to her and say, look, I'm Italian?
Yeah.
My name's Dom, I'm Italian.
Yeah.
I'd like to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sir.
You Italian stud.
I can tell your penis is a foot long and
Yeah.
you can
So
have
she-
sex 4 times in one night.
So, Will, she's clearing her throat up. I'm like, oh, she's going to
I've
sing.
had sex 4 times in one night.
3. I've only had 3.
Really? Oh, I had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
I've had
done. Well
4.
done. Well done with 4 though.
4 or 5 a night.
It was big. She was incredibly hot. Though.
Oh, good.
It
yeah.
really, way out of my league.
Yeah.
Way out of my league.
Anyways, so she starts clearing her throat.
She wasn't Italian either.
No,
Go on, she's getting rid of the cum.
She's clearing her throat out. I guess, like, you know how, and I'm like, oh, finally, a song. And I don't know why it hit me. I'm like, oh, she's going to sing Amazing Grace.
Yep.
Right?
Classic Muslim wedding or funeral song.
I
You
don't-
should have said that out loud too.
Yeah.
She starts
That
clearing her
would've-
throat, and you should have go, oh, cool, Amazing Grace. Is this amazing? Is this where Amazing Grace is? You should have said that like way out loud
Yeah.
too, just to see what everybody
Next
reacts.
Next
Muslim
funeral
yeah.
you go to, then
No.
You got the, you know how to screw it up big time now.
Yeah.
And then like,
Is this a short version?
Yeah,
she gets to the mic. She gets to the microphone.
you get those jokes up, bang, 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 bang,
She gets to
bang.
the
I'm
microphone
done.
and she says, I was saying, Allah, Muhammad, and Salah. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. I start freaking out in my chair. I'm like, this is ever end.
Well, it's supposed to be a celebration of life, is it not?
I don't know what the fuck it was, bro. And then they started doing the Rocky and Bullwinkle thing in the
The what?
Oh.
Rocky and Bull.
Yeah. I call it the Rocky
amazing.
and Bull. You know who Rocky and Bullwinkle
Yes,
are?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's finally at the end. Or at least I thought. But now we got a parade into this sunroom, and everybody's like in a circle, right? So what happened was me, my brother, and a couple other buddies, like made the circle in the wrong direction. So we're like looking backwards, and like the fucking the usher or whatever was like, excuse me, guys, you turn around. We're like, oh fuck, okay, sorry, man. So we're standing there, and we're looking around, and it's like this. The imam is like on a microphone. He's like, "Hindala, hindala, handala, hindala, handala," and then all of a sudden he stops, and everybody goes. And I was like,
Hand gesture
So
like antlers on the side of the
yeah,
head.
yeah. And I'm just like, okay. I just know, and nobody's looking up, like looking around, because everybody's put their head down, they're crying. I'm like, no, this can't be right. I didn't see what I saw. And then the imam again, hindala, hindala, handala, hindala, handala, hindala, ha. And
I'm sure he didn't say that, but this is Dominic's impersonation.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Completely interpreted, but like from what I saw, and everybody gave it their hands. I'm like, is this like Rocky and Bullwinkle? Like, I just started thinking of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
God.
You didn't laugh at the funeral.
I was laughing through the whole thing, man.
Fucking hell. And this is different from a Catholic funeral in what sense?
First of all, it was like 4 hours.
Well, how long's a Catholic funeral now?
An hour tops?
An hour?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Way too long. You're already dead. I ain't got like just.
Well, I went to well, not, I guess it was a funeral. Yeah, it was a funeral. Not too long ago for a friend's wife. I don't really talk to the guy anymore, but we went to the funeral. There's a bunch of people there, and there's so many people at the viewing or the funeral service itself, that they had a satellite room set up. So they had the one room was packed, and then they said, okay, anybody else, they have to go to this other room, and we have a video camera or like CCTV running to a TV into that room from the main room. So the TV is on the pastor or whoever, and he's talking, and you just view it on a television screen in the other room. And so I was in the satellite room with my friends and all that stuff, and the pastor was like talking about. He starts talking about marriage, and he's like, "Oh, I understand the husband's here, and there's the husband right there, you know." And he goes, "Yeah, you know." And he started talking about marriage, and I was like, "Okay, that's kind of weird to be talking about at a funeral, but okay, whatever." And he goes, "Yeah, the marriage." You know, it's like making a great cup of coffee. And I was like, okay, all right.
What?
And he goes, you see, the thing is, you got to brew the beans after you grind them, and then you gotta brew them for just long enough, and then you gotta mix them. I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is going anywhere, right? Because at first I was like, what does this have to do with? And then I was like, I'll give this guy a chance, right, to flesh this out. And he's like, yeah, and then you add different things to it. You add some sugar, make it a little bit sweeter. You add some milk, maybe. You know, it gets kind of cold. You got to put it back in the microwave. You got to heat it back up again. And I was like, what the fuck? now I'm lost, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, this analogy is gone. This is way too far. Like, this doesn't make any sense anymore, right? Because this guy's going crazy with the coffee analogy.
And this is at a
This
funeral.
is dumb. Yeah, it's at a funeral.
Okay.
He's talking about marriage as applying to coffee. And yeah, he was just going crazy with this analogy. And I was like, yeah, this analogy is not working out for this guy, right? And I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about now. But he's going nuts. He's like, oh, yeah, if it gets cold, you gotta put it back in the microwave, heat it back up again. Kind of like a marriage. You got to work on it. And then you sit down, you gotta drink it. Yeah, you got to enjoy that coffee. Maybe you can enjoy it with, maybe with a cookie or something. Maybe some sweets, maybe some cake. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? And at one point, he kind of paused. And and the thing was, I was looking around at everybody else. And, like, a couple of my friends had, like, weird looks on their face. Like, they were like, what the fuck's going on here, right? Yeah. And my buddy beside me, I look over at him. He's covering his mouth. And I was just like, I looked at him, and he looks at me, and he quickly looked away, and he started shaking his head. Because he didn't want to look at me and start laughing. Right?
Yeah.
And he's, like, covering his mouth, and I was like, looking at my other friend, like Jay was there, and I was looking at Jay, and Jay's just like really quizzical look on his face, and he's looking around. And he's like, "What is this? Where do we go?" And the guy paused at one point, and I couldn't keep it in any longer because there was a pause and there was dead silence, and I didn't want to. I went like that, and like 10 people around me started hysterically laughing. Like 10 people said, yeah, oh my God. People are like laughing and stuff. And like the people that weren't laughing were kind of like smiling and like nodding their heads and everything like that. And I was like, they're really kind of laughing. And then I started busting out laughing too. And then after it was kind of dying down, I got there was a couple dirty looks. And I was like, and I put up my hand and I was like, I apologize to anybody in this room. I'm really sorry. That coffee analogy. I'm honestly, I couldn't take the coffee analogy anymore. I apologize. I don't mean any disrespect, but I'm sorry. I couldn't keep it in any longer. And like some people were just like, oh yeah, the coffee analogy. But everybody was kind of agreed that the coffee analogy didn't make any sense.
But what was the end point of it?
That making a coffee takes a lot of work, and so does a marriage.
Maybe he went nuts and he thought he was at a wedding.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
That
I
sounds
think
like something you would say at a wedding.
I don't know. Yeah, a
Hopefully
wedding
not.
would have made sense.
Yeah.
Wedding would have made sense, but
That analogy would have made perfect sense at a wedding. You know, it's time to heat it up again and blah blah blah. Yeah,
I don't know. He just
Fuck
kept going
no.
with it. At one point, I thought he could have cut it off, and then he just kept going.
He's like,
I
well,
was like, "Oh my
well, all
God,
right, fuck
this is
this up."
brutal." Because at one point, I thought I was going to keep it in, and then he was like, "Yeah," and then, you know, if it gets cold, you got to put it in the microwave. I'm like, "Oh God, no!" And then he went on with more, and I'm like, "You could have just stopped there, bro. Like, stop." You know, and I look around, and my buddy is like, his face is in his hands. He's trying not to laugh. I was just, oh my God. And then he came out. We walked out of there, and nobody said anything. Like to me, you know, like nobody was upset or anything. And but my friend came. He goes, man, you're a son of a bitch. He goes, I couldn't even look at you. He goes, as soon as you, he goes, I knew you were thinking the same thing as me. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was terrible. And he goes, I was trying so hard to keep my laughter in. And then he looks at me, and I did the slow turn towards him. And he goes, as soon as you did the slow turn towards me with like this weird look on your face, like wide eyes going like, what the fuck's going on? He goes, I was dying laughing. I couldn't. He goes, I was dying. I was trying to keep that laughter in. Because he's just like, the look you gave me, he goes, the look you gave me, I was dying inside. And then finally, like, I did the and then everybody was like, that was it.
No.
That's all you needed.
You've never had a fuck up at a funeral?
I not really, because I don't go to them. I really don't. I find
If I die, you wouldn't go to my bash?
your bash, probably. But I generally stay away from because I find funerals really, really awful experiences. I really do. They're like, for me, please don't have a funeral. Whatever you do, literally give my body to science. Let them do what the fuck they want with it, and then just burn me and send me off somewhere. I'm happy with that. I really don't want a funeral. Because I've heard so many people say, yeah, okay, have a celebration of life and and you go to the funeral, and it is the most morose fucking
I've heard.
intense thing, and I'm like, oh no.
Make it well known that on this computer here, my will and last testament is on here. And then
You already made one? Why would you do that?
make sure everybody gets what I.
Oh, I guess.
There's no fighting.
That's kind of depressing. And
No, there's certain things.
My kids get everything. End of story.
There's certain things that are laid out that I don't, that I want to happen, and
oh, okay.
I may add.
But anyway, go on.
I may add that coffee analogy in the middle of my sermon.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. It's a strong analogy.
Yeah. and it goes on way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna put a clause in there that this analogy has to be read, and everybody's gonna be wondering what the hell's happening
You're
here.
gonna be laughing your head up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the guy's gonna be like, and now I'm gonna read something from the will. So, well, this is like Dom's life is like a
Coffee.
brewing a pot of coffee, and I'd be like, wait a minute, you need the grinds, and I'm like, oh no,
Here we fucking go.
and you need to add sweetness and milk. Oh no, this can't be right. No, we're in trouble here, boys.
Hence why I would not go to your funeral.
Why?
But I'd go to a bash. If somebody's genuinely having a celebration of life, then that's fine.
Well, the one thing I've put in my last will and testament, and everybody that knows, is that as much as I'm a proud Italian, proud of my heritage, proud of where I'm from, the one thing I do not want, and under no circumstances, is a traditional Italian funeral. I don't want it. I will haunt you motherfuckers if there's a way.
Well, you can't, but never mind.
If there's a way, I will do it.
Okay.
You'll
But
be
there-
sleeping one day at your bed and hear Fangulo, and then you'll know it's me. And I will haunt you until you fucking go crazy.
For giving you a traditional Italian
funeral.
funeral.
I want a party. I want a DJ. I mean, yeah, have a little bit of a eulogy or whatever, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, but people have said to me on the same thing. They said, well, it's like celebrating your life and we're all upset that you're gone. I don't give a fuck. I'm dead. Don't worry about it. You're not upsetting me in any way, shape, or form because you're
Will,
not
you're
crying.
just giving us an excuse to party. Shut up. Just give us the excuse to party.
That's it. Just fucking have a fucking get
Exactly.
drunk. Who gives a fuck?
But that's what I want. I want everybody, put me in the funeral home. I don't want the lineup, the fucking Italian lineup where, oh, I'm sorry, and everybody's crying under the command. I don't want any of that. I want everybody up around, chilling, talking, having a good time, telling stupid stories about what I did or what I didn't do.
Well, I can't tell stories about what you didn't do.
No,
'Cause you didn't do it.
Well, that's true, too. We did or supposedly didn't do whatever. 'Cause
I just thought of that now. That's funny, yeah. I just realized that now what he just said, yeah. Telling stories of what I didn't do.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't fuck the
Interesting,
queen.
yeah.
There was that one time he was blowing a goat.
Oh, let's see. What else didn't Dom do? There's so many things. Remember that time he didn't to do so that I'm like, all right,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I agree with that one. He didn't do this.
But that's exactly what I want. And
Remember
during the funeral-
that time he showed up on time for something?
Oh, that would be a
that
miracle.
Never happened.
Just
actually.
work.
Yeah.
Never happened.
just work. I show up for work on time.
No, you don't.
Sure, I do.
No, you don't.
I'm never late for work. Don't even start.
Yeah, you are. But never mind.
We've had this conversation. I had this conversation with Rick. I proved to him that I was never late.
Okay.
He just wanted me to show. The time clocks are off.
Oh,
At work.
okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
The time clocks are off. So he's just like,
Sure. No.
can you fix your clock or So yeah,
Time clocks are off.
shut the fuck up, man.
Okay.
You could arrive early.
Yes, I could arrive earlier.
Not a problem. Come
Exactly.
quick.
Well, I can't come quickly. That's a little harsh. Takes a little time. Never mind.
Tumbleweed.
Yes, exactly. See, that's why I'm not a stand-up comic.
Tumbleweed.
Shut up. What was it? What were we talking about again?
Your funeral.
Oh, the one thing I also want at the church, which I'm not sure if it's actually going to happen, but on my way into the church, I want Stairway to Heaven being played.
And then Highway to Hell on the way out.
On the way out of the church, yeah.
It can happen.
I don't know
Yeah,
if they would play
that's
Highway to
fine.
Hell,
Yeah.
though, but
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, yeah, you could do that.
I don't know if they would do Highway to Hell out of the church, but
Why?
I don't know.
It's your final request, is it not?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's a huge donation to the church.
They'll be all right with that. It's just a song. There's a good video on the internet of a wedding ceremony, and you know the it's an outdoor ceremony, and then so the groom comes down, and then the bride, it's her turn to come down, and she chose a song to come down to. So she chose the song "Crazy Bitch" by Buck Cherry. I don't know if you ever heard that song.
Yeah.
Yes, I have, and I think I've seen that video too.
Yeah,
She's
she
a
comes
crazy
down
bitch.
to that song. Have you heard that song? Will?
No, I've heard the song. I haven't seen the video, but I will watch the video.
Well, the
now.
lyrics, of course, are "She's a crazy bitch, but she fucks so good, I'm on top of it."
Yeah.
She came down to that song at her wedding, uncensored,
Great.
and she was dancing and like hip gyrating the whole way. But the video was funny. Why I started laughing was because there's kids there too.
Oh wow.
And at one point, and like a lot of people don't know what the song is. Like there's swearing in the song.
Yeah.
And like the song goes, and she fucks so good, I'm on top. And you see some fathers going, oh, and they covering their kids' ears and shit like that. They're like, oh yeah, what is this? Yeah, and it just kept playing too. It's like the whole song, she just dragged it out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, brutal. At first I was like, oh, what a pig, and then I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny now
Yeah.
because of the swearing and the kids and everything.
But they do that all the time. I mean,
I think I found it. It's right here.
Oh, I can't see him.
Let me turn it down. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's her singing the song.
is that the one?
See everybody turning around. Oh my god, what is this?
I mean, people would the people know that she was that kind of fucking nuts or what? I mean, it's a good kind of nuts. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fucking excellent. But yeah, I can see it laid down like that, Dom. That's good. Yeah.
That's the best. That's the other good part. It's a recording of her singing the song at a karaoke event, and then she just replayed it. And then everybody with the kids are like, we gotta get out of here. Oh, jeez, cover their ears.
No, we're not introducing the all new whatever the fuck that was.
That's a brilliant video.
I love videos like that.
This is what I do all day. Good videos.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Break, we're almost done. Break.
Dead break.
Are we almost done? Really?
2
Like
hours.
20 minutes left, yeah.
2 hours is gone. Fuck me.
I don't know.
I enjoyed myself today.
I mean, we could take a break, but I mean,
Why take a break?
Guerrero Jr. homered.
what was that?
Vlad Guerrero Jr. homered.
Oh, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Did he?
Yep.
Fucking good on him.
I do have some good news I'd like to announce.
2-run home run. Nice.
I'd like to announce something. So, July 28th,
Of this year.
yes, I'm going to be at the Sick Ride for Sick Kids car show. And yes, I know nothing about cars. I get it.
You know nothing about cars.
But I was asked because Sick Ride for Sick Kids was started by Ray. I mean, since we bring up Ray,
Rahim.
Raheem, whatever, my terrorist buddy. Well, I called him a terrorist. Anyways, Ray's friend D, our mutual friend D, continued the car show that he started. Basically, it was a car show. All the proceeds went to sick kids and any other organization that needed money in our community and stuff like that. And since Ray's died, it's been going on since. So
I take it Ray wasn't Italian.
No, he was
Oh,
from Iraq, I think, maybe. I'm pretty sure Afghanistan or Iraq. I can't
I
remember.
didn't know him that
Oh,
well.
they're close.
I didn't really know him.
I know. I just didn't know. I don't know which one, bro. And I just called him a terrorist. That's all I knew. Anyways, this year they're opening up a Hall of Fame wing to the.
You're going to be in it?
I'm
MCing it.
no, I'm inducting Ray.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm the inductor of Ray for his Hall of Fame spot.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very good.
So I'm actually quite proud and humbled by that.
Yeah.
So it should be. That's good.
And I will try to refrain from calling him a terrorist
That wouldn't.
for
go
one
down
day
well.
only.
You can try to refrain from doing it. You can try to refrain.
Why? I mean, I can't promise.
I didn't know it
him.
was so. Something you needed to do. It's like, oh, God, I haven't called him a terrorist in so long. I need it.
But what I don't
Ray's
get
a terrorist.
why would you call him a terrorist? Why?
He called me a wop.
Okay.
That's the only reason. A terrorist, a wop.
But
Whatever.
why would terrorist come into your head? Why not something
Because he
different?
was Muslim.
So all Muslims are terrorists.
No.
Just him.
We had this understanding that those stereotypes and names are stupid, and that we weren't going to allow them to define us by that. And Ray was different, bro.
There's a pair of socks under the table here, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
I
just
noticed that
noticed that
as
right
soon as
now.
I walked in, along
Yes,
with the
sir.
dog hairs.
Your dirty ass fucking socks under here.
Thanks. Well, I'm trying to fucking
It's a good thing I'm wearing shoes.
I'm not though.
Ugh.
I didn't touch them.
You're gonna get athlete's foot.
No.
Oh, stop. They're my socks.
Definitely athlete's foot.
Athlete's foot for him.
It's all just a name.
Anyways. Can I go back to...
You can make a Juventus joke out of that, by the way. Like saying Juventus is a soccer club or something, or a football club. It's a name. It's just a name.
Get out of my
And
studio.
they lost today.
Did they really?
I
Who
think
did-
so.
Oh, against Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, they were losing.
Atalanta. No, they tied.
Did they? They brought it back.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is there a club based in Rome?
Roma.
Roma, yeah. Makes sense.
What club is based out of Roma?
Huh?
Juventus is based out of Rome?
No, I
No,
said, is there
we
a
didn't
club
say
based
that.
out of Rome? And he said Roma.
Yeah, there's two teams.
Okay, well, oh, jeez. We're just asking questions here, right? Let's calm down.
Yeah, there's two teams in
Roma
Yeah.
and
Lazio.
Lazio is in Rome.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm only asking.
Yeah. Hey, Google,
Oh,
Here we go.
yeah.
where does
yeah.
Lazio play?
I'm sorry. You'll have to say that more clearly, Italian idiot.
See?
Say it less Italian.
Hey, Google,
Oh,
where does the football club Lazio play?
It's
Showing
good.
pictures that match.
nice.
Let me ask you one more time.
Hey,
if
Google.
not, I'm going to Cortana.
Yo,
The amount of fails on this is amazing.
if not, I'm going to Cortana.
Yo, Google. Wait a minute. Well,
Shut up. I
there's-
answered properly. Fuck off. Hey, Google,
Hey, Google.
can you tell me where Lazio plays?
What?
Wait.
Every time. Every time.
So I'm going to ask Cortana.
Practice the fucking.
Every time. Hey Google, what is the? Every single time.
But you're inducting your friend into the Hall of
Hey,
Fame.
Cortana.
Well, as long as he's not talking to a Google machine,
Then
I
he
think
should be
it'll all
good.
right.
Yeah.
It's the pressure of talking to Google.
Yeah. Okay, Google. Like, really? Are you going to write this speech down and read it?
Of course.
Sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Hey, Cortana, can you tell me where Lazio plays?
No. Why don't you just type it in? Just do it dead simple, the old-fashioned classical way, and type the bastard. This is where we get dead air.
That's what I'm
Because
saying. I
he
don't want
he
that.
can't think while he's fucking, while he's typing.
S. Lazio.
Yeah, you look. 'Cause I gotta put the mic down.
Why don't you fix the fucking thing?
Oh, I got these. I got mad typing skills, yo.
Mad typing skills. You
Yeah.
know?
Where
just
does
type-
Lazio play?
Yeah, I type out this like 5-letter word, Lazio, and information comes up. Hey, Google, what, where, I mean, hang on, what?
Shut up. It's not that bad.
Every time.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it fucking is.
Hey, Google,
Here we go, he's trying
where
again.
does Lazio play?
It's based in Rome.
The Stadio Olimpico is the home of Lazio.
Yeah, it's based in Rome.
Olympico.
Sports club based in
Yeah,
Rome.
they share with Rome.
Okay. So we went through that 5 minutes for that, just to find out where, when you could have just typed it in.
Go fuck yourself. It was funny. It's made for good radio.
Oh, look, there.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow, their club was established in 1900.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Juventus is longer than that too. What does it say over there?
It says, I'm reading this right, when I'm looking at the pendant, it says, this club is shit.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here too.
Oh, hey, you seen the video? Hey, Will would appreciate this. There's a video, a prank they played on David Beckham. What's his name? Corden. James Corden played it on David Beckham.
Okay, yeah.
I guess the LA Galaxy were making a statue for David Beckham, and Corden instead made an alternate statue, and then presented the alternate statue to him instead. And the alternate statue was like horrendous looking.
Like the Ronaldo one?
He had like a giant chin,
Yeah, that's
and, like
disgusting.
only like 3 teeth. His limbs were like hyperextended limbs and everything, and his
Yeah.
ass was big. And then he hired a bunch of actors to be at the unveiling, or there. It wasn't like the public unveiling, but it was like a private unveiling for him.
Oh, okay.
And there was like a bunch of actors,
yeah.
including like the owner of the LA Galaxy. He wasn't the actor, of course, but everybody else was actors. And he was backstage, and he was telling people what to do. So he's like, "Oh, yeah, oh, he's talking to. Okay, keep calling him Dave. He hates being called Dave." And so the guy was like, "Oh, Dave Beckham. Hey, Dave, what's up?" And Beckham's like, "I kind of prefer David." He goes, "Yeah, but Dave, it's the same thing, right?" And he goes, "I guess, yeah." He goes, "All right, I'm just gonna keep calling you Dave then." And Beckham, he apparently Corden's like, Beckham's way too nice to say no to that, and so he just goes, "Yeah, all right, fine." So the guy was like, "Dave," and he was like yelling across the room, "See you later, Dave." And then he was like, he's just shaking his head the whole time. But
We're gonna have to watch it after because
It's a good prank.
It's literally 9 minutes, and I'm not playing 9 minutes of it. online.
it's a really good one because they really screw with him big time.
And
They
they, show
kept
him yeah.
They keep saying that he says he.
And the statue does kind of look like the Ronaldo statue.
Another-
it's out of that vein.
Another actor starts talking to him, and Corden goes. Corden says, "Oh, you keep saying that your favorite team's Man City."
Oh,
And because he goes, he plays for Man United. Keep saying that he loves Man City, and like keep saying he plays for
Liverpool
that.
would have been worse.
And he keeps saying that. The guy's like, he's, "Oh man, Man City's a great team. I love you. You know, you brought so much to Man City as a team." And he's just like, it's Man United, man. It's Man United. He's like, "What? Really? You don't play for Man City?" "No, I don't play for Man." He just kept saying it, eh? So, oh man, this is funny stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good prank.
I shall have to watch it.
Anyways, before we go,
Game of Thrones finishes tonight.
Oh yeah,
It's the final one. The odds are on that Dany gets killed.
Yes,
She gets killed.
I
But
definitely
who
should.
by?
That's a good one.
I personally think it's going to be Arya.
Arya is the cheat because you can basically say she can
She
she's
can
like the
look
default.
like anybody.
She's like the default for like who's gonna get killed
Yeah.
by who, because because Arya can kill everybody. So she's like, well, probably Arya can do it. Probably she
I
could,
think
yeah.
the reason why I think she kills it, she kills her, is because because of what John's done and rejected her and things such as that. If you haven't watched this show, spoilers, fuck off, don't care. Then it's a matter of she is going to do something bad towards John, and Arya is going to defend John by killing her. That's my fan theory. I will obviously be completely and utterly wrong, but that's my theory.
I think John's gonna kill her. That's what I'm gonna.
Quite a few people who I've spoken to have said the same thing. They think because she's a mad queen. So
Yeah, my original thought when I was watching the series, not even when it got to this season, was that Daenerys was never going to become queen, and eventually she was going to go back across the sea to where Valyria used to be,
yeah,
and then find that there's livable portions, and that she was going to go back there.
you're right.
That was my theory the whole time the show was on. But if she's going to die, which it looks like they're setting up, she's going to die. I think John's going to do it.
Yeah. I think they've set it up to such a degree because the amount of people even though so many people said they're innocent, they're not innocent people, but they were all calling for Ned Stark's beheading and everything else and blah blah blah. So they're going to come in, and I think with the way that she killed all those people, and the Arya was there in the city watching all this horror happen firsthand.
Yep.
I think now that she's got on the white horse and riding north, I think that's one of the reasons that she's going to be the main contributor to the death of
And then who's going to rule?
I think it's going to be John. I do think John's going to take on the throne. I think he will, because he will be pushed to that degree for the same reasons that Varys said, is that he's the noble one. He's the one is the legitimate heir to the throne, and I think that's one of the things that's going to throw Dany off completely, because she now knows that it's out.
Yeah.
It's now out. It's not. It's something that you can't bring back. He mentioned it, and Sansa, she's gonna have a role in it as well, because she can't fucking stand it. Daenerys. She fucking hates
The
it.
fucking cunt.
Who?
Sansa.
No, she's very good. Now, this is one of the reasons why I would like you to watch it, because you look at the development of her character from who she was to who she is today. That is one of the strongest character developments I've seen for a long, long time.
Stronger than Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I have no idea what that is, but never mind. From that girl that she was to the woman she is today, it does.
It's a good show.
The historical figure that I would put her with, or alongside, I should say, is probably Queen Elizabeth I.
Yeah.
In the development of the character, I really would. And it's a good show. You should watch it, and I really would suggest that you do, because I was one of the 1%ers so many months ago.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately, I proudly stipulated that, but then I watched it and I was like, oh fuck, I've missed such a good show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
it's quite a show.
Because the books were so bad, but
the books, what I've seen and what I've heard is it's a lot of unnecessary information.
Yes. Yes. I didn't like the books at all.
No.
And if you're not going to watch that crap on
Which
Sunday, I'll be watching Money in the Bank.
Oh.
The
Some
WWE
bigger
pay-per-view.
crap.
Sure.
Some other crap.
Yeah, I'll be watching the Money in the Bank.
What is that? Is it a game show or something?
It was wrestling.
Oh. So it's total crap then. Yeah.
Oh, yes, and wizards and fucking dragons flying around, and we're picking
Wizards?
There's no wizard.
There's no wizards.
Okay, fucking flying dragons and queens and fucking katanas and fucking, I don't know.
Queens of Batanas. That's how you describe it. That's Game of Thrones for you.
There you go. Fire and ice.
Anyways.
Queens and Patanas. You should watch it. You should. It's violent. You'd love it.
And you should watch Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
It's fun. The
There's
storyline is
naked
great.
women in most of the seasons too.
Yes, there is. There's a lot of shagging going on.
There's a lot of shagging in WWE too.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Sure, John Cena and Nikki Bella.
They allow nudity now in WWE.
Well, they stopped that part, but yes, they used to.
They allow nudity, really?
They did at one point, yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they did.
No,
Yeah, shut up.
wrong.
Fuck off.
They never allowed nudity. You know it.
No,
Anyways,
no.
You're wrong.
we're done. 2 hours done. I'm
2
sick of you two.
You're wrong. You got a wrestling fact wrong.
Never,
I never get a
naked.
wrestling fact. I can tell
I
you.
just beat you.
Never nakedness in that show. Never.
How much you want to make a bet?
Show me.
Uncensored, really, on TV?
No.
Live sex show.
What?
Live sex show?
Live sex show.
What's live sex show?
They had it right on Monday night, the beginning of Monday Night Raw.
That was not actual sex, and they weren't nude. They never showed it.
In his mind, they were nude.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's it. When the women go on there, and instead of the spandex and things like that, he just sees naked women anyway. So he doesn't actually see the uniforms that they're wearing. Total objectification of the women.
They don't do this anymore.
They don't do what?
Objectify women in this manner.
They don't. They don't objectify women.
No, they don't.
Really?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. So, but God shows where's the nudity then?
That's part of the appeal of wrestling. Part of the appeal of wrestling is the women.
That's why so many incels love it.
So many what?
Incels love it.
Incels.
Yeah, they love wrestling.
Yeah, guys that can't get laid.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about incels or anything like that, but
they do.
the women are not just what did you call them?
What did I just call them?
Yes.
Women.
No, was
It's what men do.
Objectified?
That's it. They're not objectified as sexual beings anymore here.
No.
They're actual athletes that are a lot better than some of them are a lot better than the males. If you take Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Ronda Rousey, Bailey,
How the
Nadia.
fuck did we get onto wrestling?
I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
That's the 2 hours. The 2 hours were up. Was it not?
That might have been my fault.
Yeah.
No, you started talking about Game of Thrones.
No, it was Game of Thrones.
That's
and-
got nothing to do with WWE.
No, I said you start talking about that. I'm just going to talk about wrestling as soon as I get a chance.
When
Oh,
did you
and
say
I
that?
told him like he got a fact wrong about wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am never wrong about wrestling.
Anyway, peace out, people. Enjoy your love and be really, really cool. And tonight is the end of Game of Thrones. Until next week. Because especially...
This doesn't come out till Tuesday, man. It's already been done.
There's, of course, that's fine. But the thing is, I'm asking people to enjoy it today. That's cool.
Oh, if you haven't
We should
watched it on
do
Tuesday.
live stream
Of what?
this show.
A live stream of this show.
Yeah, we should do that.
During what?
What do you mean during what?
A Game of Thrones?
No.
Oh, thank God.
You should if you. The thing is, watch the reaction videos. Watch the reaction videos. They are excellent. You should watch those
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
reaction.
Reaction videos. Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Anyways, goodbye.
All right.
Sean Tank Top.
Tank top.
Sean Tank Top. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
I see you people.
Bye.